Welcome to our channel. Today, we're bringing you an exciting look at HD Old Coins 51, a collection of fascinating, historic coins that showcase incredible artistry and craftsmanship. Each coin has a unique story, connecting us to a bygone era and preserving the rich heritage of the past. Whether you're a passionate collector or just curious about these rare treasures, this video will take you on a journey through history. Let's explore the beauty, value, and significance of these remarkable coins. Top 1. In the vast world of coin collecting, certain coins tell a story far beyond their face value. Some capture historical moments, while others stand as symbols of craftsmanship, rarity, and national pride. The 2009 USA 1-cent penny is one such coin, a small but powerful piece of history that marked an important milestone in American numismatics. More than just a cent, this coin carries the legacy of one of America's greatest presidents, a redesigned look that fascinated collectors, and, in some cases, a hidden value that far surpasses its modest denomination. To truly appreciate this fascinating penny, we must journey back to its origins, understanding why it was minted, how it was designed, and what makes it such an exciting find in the world of numismatics. The story begins not just in 2009 but much earlier, when Abraham Lincoln, the man honored on the coin, changed the course of American history forever. The year 1809 marked the birth of Abraham Lincoln, a man whose leadership during the Civil War and his push for the abolition of slavery made him one of the most revered figures in U.S. history. In 1909, exactly 100 years after his birth, the U.S. Mint honored Lincoln by introducing the Lincoln cent, replacing the Indian head penny. The designer, Victor David Brenner, created an iconic portrait of Lincoln that remains on the coin to this day. However, when 2009 arrived, a full 2 centuries after Lincoln's birth, it was clear that this moment called for something special. To celebrate Lincoln's bicentennial and the centennial of the Lincoln cent, the U.S. Mint introduced a unique design series, the 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial 1-cent coins. Instead of the traditional Lincoln Memorial reverse, these coins featured 4 distinct reverse designs, each representing a different phase of Lincoln's life. This was an unprecedented move, making the 2009 penny one of the most talked-about coins of the decade. The first design, known as the birth and early childhood in Kentucky, shows a humble log cabin, symbolizing Lincoln's birth in 1809. This design reflects his modest beginnings in Hardin County, Kentucky, where he spent his early years in a one-room cabin, a testament to his humble origins and the perseverance that would later define his legacy. The second design, Formative Years in Indiana, depicts a young Lincoln sitting on a log, reading a book while holding a tool. This phase of Lincoln's life, from 1816 to 1830, represents his self-education and his work ethic, 2 defining characteristics that would shape his future leadership. The third design, Professional Life in Illinois, showcases Lincoln standing in front of the Illinois state capitol, symbolizing his early career as a lawyer and statesman. By the time he moved to Springfield, Illinois, Lincoln had become a successful attorney, setting the stage for his rise in American politics. The final design, Presidency in Washington, D.C., presents the partially completed U.S. Capitol dome, signifying Lincoln's presidency and the Civil War era. The unfinished dome serves as a metaphor for a divided nation and the challenges Lincoln faced in preserving the Union. Each of these designs tells a story, and together, they form a powerful tribute to Lincoln's journey from a poor frontier boy to one of the most influential figures in American history. The 2009 penny, then, is more than just a coin. It is a historical document, capturing the essence of a man whose leadership shaped the nation. Beyond its designs, the 2009 penny holds a special place in numismatic history due to its composition and mintage variations. The majority of these coins were struck in the standard copper-plated zinc, which had been the standard composition for U.S. cents since 1982. However, in an effort to honor tradition, the U.S. Mint also produced a limited number of copper coins, similar in composition to the original 1909 Lincoln cents. These special 95% copper, 5% tin, and zinc versions were included in collector sets and are highly sought after today. Minting locations included Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, with the latter producing only proof versions of the coin. As with all pennies, the small mint mark on the obverse beneath the date signifies the mint of origin. no mint mark for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. Despite being a modern issue, the 2009 penny has become a favorite among collectors, not only for its unique designs but also for the rarities and errors that exist within the series. Some of the most notable errors include the double die reverses, where parts of the design appear doubled due to misalignment during striking, off-center strikes, creating coins with portions of the design missing, die cracks, which result in raised lines or imperfections on the surface of the coin. Such errors can dramatically increase the value of a 2009 penny, turning an ordinary 1-cent piece into a collector's treasure. Beyond errors, collectors are also on the lookout for high-grade examples, as well-struck. Uncirculated versions of the 2009 penny can command impressive prices at auctions. Graded coins by professional services such as PCGS or NGC, especially those receiving MS67 or higher, can be worth significantly more than face value. But what truly drives the demand for the 2009 penny? It's a mix of factors: its historical significance, its unique 4-design series, and the fact that it stands as a one-year type coin. Since 2010, the reverse of the penny changed permanently to the Union Shield, making the 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial designs a one-time special issue. That rarity, combined with the ongoing fascination with Lincoln cents, ensures that the 2009 penny remains highly desirable. Even today, collectors search through rolls of pennies, hoping to uncover a perfectly preserved 2009 penny, a valuable error, or a rare copper edition. The thrill of the hunt makes this coin an exciting find, and its historical connections only add to the appeal. For those looking to invest in the 2009 penny, key strategies include searching through bank rolls, as many 2009 pennies still circulate and can be found in pocket change, purchasing uncirculated rolls, which may contain high-grade specimens, or looking for certified examples, especially those graded MS67 or higher. Checking for errors, as even minor variations can significantly boost the coin's value. In conclusion, the 2009 USA 1-cent penny is far more than a common coin. It is a historical tribute, a collector's dream, and, in some cases, a hidden treasure. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just starting out, this coin offers something for everyone: a tangible piece of history, a fascinating story, and the possibility of uncovering something truly special. So next time you come across a 2009 penny, take a closer look. You might just be holding a little piece of history worth far more than a cent. Top 2. The story of the 1960 USA 1-cent penny with mint mark is one of change, rarity, and intrigue. It is a coin that stands out in the vast history of the Lincoln cent series, not just for its design and composition, but for the peculiar variations and sought-after errors that have captivated collectors for decades. This small yet significant piece of American currency carries a fascinating narrative that intertwines history, minting technology, and the relentless pursuit of perfection by numismatists. To truly understand the importance of the 1960 penny, one must go back in time and explore the era that gave birth to it. The year 1960 was a transformative time for the United States. The nation was on the brink of a new political era, with John F. Kennedy winning the presidential election, promising a bold vision for America. The space race was intensifying, civil rights movements were gaining momentum, and economic growth was fueling optimism. Against this backdrop, the U.S. Mint was busy producing billions of Lincoln cents, a coin that had been in circulation since 1909. The Lincoln cent, designed by Victor David Brenner, had already cemented its place as one of the most recognized and beloved coins in American history. However, in 1960, a seemingly minor yet significant change took place that would turn this otherwise common coin into a numismatic sensation. The key to understanding the 1960 penny's importance lies in its date. This was the year the U.S. Mint transitioned from using large date numerals to small date numerals on the coin's obverse, specifically in the 1960 inscription. While changes in date styles might seem insignificant at first glance, they became the driving force behind the coin's collectability. The difference between a large date and a small date is subtle but noticeable upon closer inspection. The large date version features a taller, bolder 1960, while the small date version has a more compact and slightly different numeral design. These variations were minted in both Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver, D mint mark, creating multiple combinations. In 1960 large date, Philadelphia. In 1960 small date, Philadelphia. In 1960 D large date, Denver. In 1960 D small date, Denver. While all versions have value, the 1960 D small date is particularly rare and highly sought after. The Denver Mint struck billions of pennies in 1960, but only a small fraction had the small date variety, making them a prized discovery for collectors. Another fascinating aspect of the 1960 penny is the presence of double die errors, which occur when the coin is struck more than once by the minting press, causing elements of the design to appear doubled. Among the most famous is the 1960 D over D RPM repunched mint mark, where a secondary D mint mark can be seen beneath the primary one. This happens when the mint mark is punched into the die multiple times, slightly misaligned. These varieties add another layer of excitement to collecting the 1960 penny, as even minor misalignments can dramatically increase the coin's value. The composition of the 1960 penny is another aspect worth noting. Like other Lincoln cents from 1959 to 1982, it was made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it a reddish-brown hue when uncirculated. Over time, these coins develop varying degrees of toning, which can impact their value. While most circulated examples appear dull and worn, uncirculated specimens with original mint luster are highly desirable. Grading plays a crucial role in determining the value of a 1960 penny. Collectors and investors seek high-grade examples, particularly those graded MS65 or higher by professional services like PCGS or NGC. The difference between a common circulated penny and a gem-quality specimen can be dramatic. A heavily worn 1960 D small date penny might be worth only a few cents, while a pristine, well-struck example can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. Beyond its monetary value, the 1960 penny holds historical significance as part of the Lincoln Cent series, which had just undergone a major redesign the previous year. In 1959, the U.S. Mint replaced the wheat reverse, used from 1909 to 1958, with the Lincoln Memorial reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo. This marked a shift in American coinage, as the reverse now depicted the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., symbolizing Lincoln's enduring legacy. The 1960 penny was among the first full-year issues to feature this new design, making it a bridge between the old and the new. For those interested in collecting the 1960 penny, there are several strategies to maximize the chances of finding valuable specimens. Searching through old rolls of pennies, especially bank-wrapped rolls from 1960, can sometimes yield unsearched examples of small-date or double-die varieties. Estate sales, coin shops, and online auctions are also excellent sources for acquiring high-grade specimens. One of the joys of collecting the 1960 penny is the element of discovery. The thrill of finding a small-date variety or an RPM error in a seemingly ordinary batch of pennies is what keeps numismatists engaged. Even today, coin roll hunters search for these rarities, hoping to stumble upon a piece of numismatic history hiding in plain sight. The market for the 1960 penny remains strong, particularly for the D-mint small-date varieties and high-grade examples. While most circulated pennies from this year will not fetch more than their face value, well-preserved specimens can be worth considerably more. Collectors continue to seek out error coins, particularly those with dramatic doubling or multiple repunched mint marks, as these anomalies increase the coin's desirability. Looking ahead, the legacy of the 1960 penny will continue to grow as more collectors appreciate its unique place in numismatic history. While it may not be the rarest penny ever struck, its combination of date varieties, mint mark errors, and historical context make it a fascinating and valuable addition to any collection. For those who are just beginning their journey into coin collecting, the 1960 penny serves as an excellent introduction to the nuances of minting variations and error coins. Its accessibility, being a relatively modern issue, means that many can still be found in circulation or acquired at reasonable prices, making it an ideal starting point for new collectors. In conclusion, the 1960 USA 1-cent penny with mint mark is far more than just a common coin. It represents a pivotal moment in U.S. mint history, showcasing the evolution of the Lincoln cent while offering collectors an exciting hunt for valuable variations. Whether it's the rare small-date variety, the RPM errors, or the high-grade uncirculated examples. This coin holds an enduring appeal that continues to captivate numismatists of all levels. So the next time you come across a 1960 penny, take a closer look. It might just be worth far more than a cent. Top 3. The 1961 USA 1-cent penny with mint mark is a fascinating piece of American numismatic history, carrying with it the legacy of the Lincoln Cent series, the craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint, and the excitement of collecting rare and valuable coins. Though it may seem like an ordinary penny at first glance, the 1961 cent holds unique attributes that make it an intriguing find for collectors. From its historical context to the minting variations that set it apart, this coin is more than just a simple copper piece. It is a testament to a period of economic growth, technological advancement, and evolving coinage production. The early 1960s were a time of great transformation in the United States. The country was in the midst of the Cold War, space exploration was gaining momentum, and the civil rights movement was changing the social landscape. John F. Kennedy had just been elected as president in 1960, bringing with him a sense of optimism and progress. The U.S. Mint, continuing its tradition of producing billions of coins for circulation, struck the 1961 Lincoln Cent as part of its ongoing commitment to ensuring a stable and efficient currency system. The Lincoln Cent, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, had become one of the most recognizable coins in American history. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse of the penny features a right-facing portrait of Lincoln, with the words "In God We Trust" above, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1961 to the right. The mint mark, if present, appears just below the date, indicating which mint struck the coin. For this year, pennies were minted at both the Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, and the Denver Mint, D mint mark. The reverse of the coin showcases the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to replace the original wheat reverse. Created by Frank Gasparo, this depiction of the Lincoln Memorial is rich in detail, with the words United States of America above and E pluribus unum below. The denomination 1 cent is prominently displayed at the bottom. This reverse design was used until 2008, making the 1961 penny part of the early years of the memorial cent era. In terms of composition, the 1961 penny was made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, following the same metallic standard that had been in place since 1942. This copper-based composition gives the coin its distinctive reddish-brown color when freshly minted, though oxidation over time can lead to various shades of brown, red, and even greenish tones due to environmental exposure. A significant aspect of the 1961 penny with mint mark is its connection to the Denver Mint, which struck billions of cents that year. Among these, some exhibit unique variations and errors that make them highly collectible. One of the most notable varieties is the repunched mint mark, RPM, error, where the D mint mark appears to have been punched more than once, slightly misaligned. This occurs when the mint mark is manually added to the working die multiple times, creating a doubling effect that can be seen under magnification. RPM errors are highly sought after by collectors, with stronger and more dramatic examples commanding premium prices in the numismatic market. Another sought-after error in the 1961 penny series is the double die obverse, DDO. This occurs when the coin's design is struck more than once, causing noticeable doubling in inscriptions such as "Liberty" and "God We Trust," or the date itself. While not as common as some other double die varieties from the Lincoln Cent series, any 1961 penny exhibiting clear doubling can fetch significant value. Grading plays a crucial role in determining the worth of a 1961 penny. Coins that have been well preserved and remain in mint state, MS, condition are far more valuable than those that have circulated extensively. The Sheldon scale, which ranges from poor P1 to mint state MS 70, is used by professional grading services such as PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, to assess a coin's condition. For the 1961 D penny, an uncirculated example in MS65 or higher can be worth significantly more than its face value. While most circulated 1961 pennies are only worth a few cents, those with rare varieties, such as RPM or DDO errors, can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction, depending on their rarity and demand among collectors. The 1961 penny holds significance beyond just its numismatic value. It was part of a broader shift in the U.S. Mint's approach to coin production, laying the groundwork for changes that would come later in the decade. By the mid-1960s, the Mint would transition away from using silver in dimes and quarters due to rising metal costs, signaling the beginning of a new era in American coinage. The Lincoln cent, however, remained unchanged in composition until 1982, when the U.S. Mint switched to a zinc core with a thin copper coating to combat rising copper prices. For those interested in collecting 1961 pennies, there are several ways to maximize the chances of finding valuable specimens. Searching through old coin rolls, especially bank-wrapped rolls from 1961, can sometimes yield unsearched examples of RPM or double die varieties. Coin shops, estate sales, and online marketplaces like eBay, heritage auctions, or great collections are also excellent sources for acquiring high-grade examples. One of the most exciting aspects of collecting the 1961 penny with mint mark is the potential for discovery. Many valuable error coins have been found in everyday pocket change, making it a thrilling pursuit for numismatists of all levels. Even today, collectors continue to search for well-preserved examples, hoping to find a rare variety hiding in plain sight. The market for Lincoln cents, particularly those with errors and high-grade specimens, remains strong. While most circulated 1961 D pennies will not fetch more than a few cents, well-preserved examples with sharp details and strong luster can be worth much more. The value of error coins, such as RPM and double die varieties, depends on their visibility and overall condition, with dramatic errors often commanding the highest prices. Looking to the future, the legacy of the 1961 penny will continue to grow as more collectors recognize its importance within the Lincoln cent series. While it may not be the rarest penny ever struck, its combination of historical significance, mint mark varieties, and error coin potential makes it a fascinating and valuable addition to any collection. For those just starting in numismatics, the 1961 penny serves as an excellent introduction to minting variations and error coins. Its affordability and accessibility make it an ideal coin for learning about the intricacies of coin collecting. Whether searching through rolls, buying from reputable dealers, or studying its history, the 1961 penny offers endless opportunities for discovery. In conclusion, the 1961 USA 1-cent penny with mint mark is much more than just a common copper coin. It represents a key moment in the evolution of the Lincoln cent, showcasing the craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint while offering collectors an exciting hunt for valuable varieties. Whether it's the RPM errors, double die varieties, or high-grade uncirculated examples, this penny continues to capture the interest of numismatists worldwide. So next time you come across a 1961 penny with a D mint mark, take a closer look. You might just be holding a hidden treasure worth far more than 1 cent. Top 4. The 1964 USA 1-cent penny with a mint mark is a fascinating piece of American numismatic history, capturing the final chapter of an era before significant changes occurred in the production of U.S. coinage. While the Lincoln cent had been in circulation for over 5 decades by 1964, this particular year remains special for collectors due to its high mintage, historical significance, and the intriguing errors and varieties associated with it. From its origins to its value in today's market, this coin has a lot more to offer than just its face value. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse of the penny features a right-facing portrait of Lincoln, surrounded by the words, "In God We Trust" above, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1964 to the right. If the coin bears a mint mark, it appears just below the date, signifying the mint where it was produced. For 1964, Lincoln cents were minted at both the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use a mint mark, and the Denver Mint, which used the D mint mark. The Denver Mint played a crucial role in minting billions of pennies that year, making the 1964 D penny one of the most common coins from this time. On the reverse, the coin showcases the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to replace the original wheat ears reverse that had been in use since 1909. Created by Frank Gasparo, this design highlights the grand neoclassical structure built in honor of President Lincoln in Washington, D.C. Above the memorial, the words "United States of America" curve along the edge, while the Latin phrase e pluribus unum appears just below. At the bottom, the denomination 1 cent is prominently displayed, reinforcing the coin's face value. The 1964 penny retained the traditional composition of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, which had been the standard since 1942. This composition gave the penny a distinctive reddish hue when freshly minted, but exposure to air and circulation could cause oxidation, leading to various shades of brown over time. Copper cents were widely used in everyday transactions, making them essential for commerce across the United States. A key historical aspect of the 1964 penny is its connection to a significant policy change at the U.S. Mint. In response to a nationwide coin shortage, the Mint decided to eliminate mint marks from coins beginning in 1965. This decision was meant to discourage hoarding and ensure a steady supply of circulating coinage. As a result, 1964 was the last year for many years in which U.S. pennies carried a mint mark. This adds to the historical significance of the 1964 D penny, as it represents the end of an era before mint marks were temporarily removed. One of the most exciting aspects of the 1964 penny with a mint mark is the variety of errors and die anomalies that can be found. Among the most notable are repunched mint marks, RPMs, which occur when the Denver Mint's D mint mark was struck multiple times, leading to a noticeable doubling effect. These RPM varieties are highly sought after by collectors, especially those with strong visual doubling. Another intriguing variety is the double die obverse, DDO, where elements of the obverse design, such as the inscriptions Liberty or In God We Trust, appear doubled due to misalignment during the striking process. While not as dramatic as some famous double die cents from earlier years, any 1964 penny displaying this feature can fetch a premium among collectors. Striking errors, such as off-center strikes, broad strikes, and clipped planchets, also make certain 1964 D pennies valuable. These errors occur during the minting process when the blank planchet is misaligned or improperly fed into the press, resulting in coins with unusual shapes or missing portions. Collectors prize these oddities because they are rare and provide a glimpse into the imperfections of mass production at the mint. When it comes to determining the value of a 1964 D penny, several factors come into play. The most important is the coin's condition, which is graded on the Sheldon scale from poor P1 to mint state MS 70. Circulated 1964 pennies typically hold only minimal value beyond their face value, but uncirculated examples, especially those in high grades, can command much higher prices. For instance, a 1964 D penny in mint state 65, MS 65, can be worth several dollars, while coins graded MS 67 or higher can fetch hundreds of dollars due to their scarcity and pristine condition. Coins with full mint luster, no visible wear, and strong strike details are the most desirable among collectors. Error coins, particularly those with strong RPMs, DDOs, or striking anomalies, can be worth significantly more. Some of the most dramatic repunched mint marks have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on their rarity and demand. Collectors and investors constantly search for high-quality examples, which can turn a simple 1964 penny into a valuable numismatic treasure. Despite its common status, the 1964 penny remains an appealing coin for beginners and experienced collectors alike. It is a great entry point into Lincoln cent collecting, offering affordability and accessibility while still having the potential for valuable discoveries. Searching through old rolls of pennies or inherited coin collections can sometimes yield hidden gems, including high-grade examples or rare varieties that have gone unnoticed for decades. The historical context of the 1964 penny also makes it a fascinating collectible. It was minted during the presidency of Lyndon B. Johnson, a period marked by major political and social change, including the passage of the Civil Rights Act and the expansion of the space program. The coin serves as a small but tangible artifact from this transformative time in American history. Looking forward, the market for Lincoln cents remains strong, with key dates, error coins, and high-grade specimens continuing to appreciate in value. While most 1964 pennies will never be worth more than a few cents, finding one in superb condition or with an interesting minting error can make all the difference. The enduring popularity of the Lincoln Cent series ensures that these coins will always have a place in numismatic collections. For collectors who enjoy the thrill of the hunt, the 1964 D penny offers an exciting opportunity. Whether through roll searching, attending coin shows, or exploring online auctions, there is always a chance to uncover a valuable variety or an exceptionally well-preserved piece. Even in an era where pennies are often overlooked, the potential hidden value in these small copper coins continues to captivate enthusiasts. In the end, the 1964 USA 1-cent penny with a mint mark is more than just a simple piece of change. It represents a transitional moment in U.S. coinage history, a connection to the past, and an ongoing treasure hunt for collectors. Whether as a curiosity, a historical artifact, or a valuable rarity, this coin continues to hold significance far beyond its humble 1-cent denomination. Top 5. The 1967 USA 1-cent penny holds a unique place in American numismatics, reflecting a period of change and transition in the U.S. mint's history. While the Lincoln cent had been a staple of American currency since 1909, the 1967 issue is particularly interesting due to the absence of a mint mark, a decision driven by an effort to combat coin shortages and public hoarding. This small but significant difference sets it apart from earlier and later issues, making it an intriguing coin for collectors and history enthusiasts alike. From its origins to its value today, the 1967 penny tells a story that goes beyond its humble 1-cent face value. The Lincoln cent was originally designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The obverse features a detailed right-facing portrait of Lincoln, surrounded by the inscriptions, "In God We Trust" above, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1967 to the right. Normally, coins minted at branch mints would display a mint mark below the date, but in 1967, no pennies bore any mint marks. This was a direct result of U.S. mint policies aimed at addressing the ongoing coin shortage of the 1960s. On the reverse, the 1967 penny showcases the Lincoln Memorial, a design that had been in place since 1959, replacing the original wheat ears design used from 1909 to 1958. This iconic structure, designed by Frank Asparo, features intricate details that include a small representation of Lincoln himself seated within the memorial. The reverse also bears the inscriptions "United States of America" along the upper edge, "E Pluribus Unum" just below it, and 1 cent prominently displayed at the bottom. The design remains one of the most recognizable images in American coinage. A crucial detail about the 1967 penny is its composition. Like its predecessors, it was made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, giving it a distinctive reddish hue when freshly struck. Over time, exposure to air and handling causes oxidation, resulting in a range of color variations from bright red to deep brown. These color variations are important for collectors, as pennies that retain their original red luster tend to be more desirable and valuable than those that have darkened or toned due to circulation. The most significant historical aspect of the 1967 penny is the lack of a mint mark. From 1965 to 1967, the U.S. Mint removed mint marks from all coins as part of an initiative to discourage collectors from hoarding coins based on their mint location. The 1960s had seen a dramatic rise in coin collecting, which contributed to a widespread shortage of circulating coins. By eliminating mint marks, the mint hoped to reduce speculation and ensure a steady supply of coins for everyday commerce. As a result, all 1967 pennies were struck without a mint mark, regardless of whether they were produced in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. Despite its high mintage, the 1967 penny is still of interest to collectors, particularly due to the various errors and varieties that can be found. Among the most notable are double die obverse, DDO, and double die reverse, DDR, varieties, where elements of the design appear doubled due to a misalignment during the striking process. These errors are highly sought after, as they add uniqueness and rarity to an otherwise common coin. Strong examples of doubling, particularly on inscriptions like "Liberty" or "In God We Trust," can significantly increase a coin's value. Other striking errors such as off-center strikes, broad strikes, and clipped planchets also add to the appeal of 1967 pennies. These errors occur when the coin blank is improperly positioned during the striking process, resulting in noticeable deviations from the standard design. Coins with severe misalignment or missing portions are especially prized by collectors, as they provide a glimpse into the minting process and its occasional imperfections. Another interesting aspect of 1967 pennies is the special mint set, SMS, coins, which were produced in limited numbers for collectors. Unlike regular circulation coins, SMS pennies were struck with extra care, often exhibiting sharper details and a distinctive satin-like finish. These special coins were issued as part of sets that included other denominations, serving as a substitute for traditional proof sets, which were temporarily discontinued from 1965 to 1967. SMS pennies, particularly those in high grades, are significantly more valuable than their regular circulation counterparts. Determining the value of a 1967 penny depends on several factors, including condition, rarity, and presence of errors. Most circulated 1967 pennies hold only minimal value beyond their face value, as they were produced in massive quantities. However, uncirculated examples, especially those with full red luster, can be worth significantly more. A 1967 penny graded MS-65 can sell for several dollars, while those in MS-67 or higher can fetch even higher prices due to their relative scarcity in pristine condition. Error coins, particularly double die varieties and major striking anomalies, can command much higher prices depending on demand and rarity. Some well-preserved and clearly defined DDO or DDR examples have been known to sell for hundreds of dollars, especially when certified by professional grading services. Off-center strikes and clipped planchets also add to a coin's collectability, with dramatic errors being particularly valuable. The 1967 SMS pennies hold additional value, as they were minted in smaller quantities compared to regular circulation coins. A high-grade SMS penny in MS-67 or higher can be worth $50 or more, depending on the coin's overall eye appeal and condition. Collectors seeking high-quality examples often pay premiums for coins with flawless surfaces and strong details. Despite its status as a common date in the Lincoln Cent series, the 1967 penny remains an appealing collectible due to its historical significance and the absence of a mint mark. It serves as a reminder of a unique period in U.S. mint history when the government actively sought to regulate coin collecting habits to ensure a steady supply of circulating currency. This alone makes the 1967 penny a worthwhile addition to any collection. For those interested in Lincoln Cents, the 1967 issue provides an excellent entry point into the world of numismatics. Searching through old penny rolls, estate collections, or even pocket change can sometimes yield uncirculated examples or rare varieties, making the hunt for a valuable 1967 penny an exciting endeavor. Collectors who focus on Lincoln Cents often seek out well-preserved examples from each year, and the 1967 penny is a necessary piece for completing a comprehensive collection. As the coin market continues to evolve, high-grade 1967 pennies and notable error varieties are likely to maintain or even increase in value. While most 1967 pennies will never be worth more than a few cents, finding one in exceptional condition or with a rare minting error can make all the difference. The enduring appeal of the Lincoln Cent series ensures that these coins will always have a place in numismatic circles. In the end, the 1967 USA 1-cent penny, despite lacking a mint mark, is a coin with historical intrigue, collector potential, and hidden value. Whether viewed as a simple relic of a past era, a piece of numismatic history, or a potential rarity waiting to be discovered, this small copper coin continues to captivate enthusiasts and collectors alike. Top 6. The 1973 USA 1-cent penny is a fascinating piece of American numismatic history, standing as a testament to the enduring legacy of the Lincoln Cent series. By this time, the Lincoln Cent had been in circulation for over 6 decades, maintaining its iconic design while undergoing subtle changes throughout the years. The 1973 penny, available with mint marks from Denver and San Francisco, and without a mint mark from Philadelphia, is a notable issue that continues to capture the interest of collectors, especially in high-grade conditions and with potential minting errors. This small copper coin tells a larger story of American coinage, economics, and collecting trends, making it a compelling subject for both casual and seasoned numismatists. The obverse of the 1973 penny features the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909. His right-facing bust is flanked by the word Liberty on the left and the date 1973 on the right, with the mint mark, if present, located just below the date. Above Lincoln's head, the phrase "In God We Trust" stands prominently, emphasizing the national motto. This design had remained largely unchanged since its introduction, continuing to serve as one of the most recognizable images in American numismatics. Despite its long-standing presence, each year's minting carries its own unique characteristics, and 1973 was no exception. On the reverse, the 1973 penny displays the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Created by Frank Gasparo, this depiction of the national monument adds a distinctive architectural element to the coin, replacing the original wheat ears design that had been featured from 1909 to 1958. A closer look at the Lincoln Memorial on the coin reveals a small representation of Lincoln seated within, an intricate detail that is often overlooked. Surrounding the memorial are the inscriptions "United States of America" at the top and "1 cent" at the bottom, with the national motto "E pluribus unum" positioned just above the structure. The 1973 penny retained the traditional bronze composition of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, a formulation that had been in place since 1962. However, this would be one of the last years before a major transition in the Lincoln Cent series. In 1982, rising copper prices led the U.S. Mint to change the composition to a predominantly zinc core with a thin copper coating. Because of this impending shift, the 1973 penny stands as one of the final years of the solid bronze cents, making it more appealing to collectors who prefer the classic metal composition. When freshly minted, these pennies exhibited a bright reddish hue, but over time, exposure to air and circulation caused many to darken to brown, with red examples being the most desirable among collectors. Mint marks on 1973 pennies play a crucial role in identifying their origin. The Philadelphia Mint struck pennies without a mint mark, while the Denver Mint produced coins marked with a small D below the date. The San Francisco Mint, denoted by an S mint mark, primarily struck proof coins intended for collectors rather than for circulation. As a result, 1973 S-proof pennies tend to have a higher level of detail and a mirror-like finish, distinguishing them from regular circulation strikes. One of the aspects that make the 1973 penny particularly interesting to collectors is the presence of error coins and die varieties. Among the most sought after are double die obverse (DDO) and double die reverse (DDR) varieties, where parts of the design appear slightly doubled due to a misalignment during the minting process. These varieties are often most visible in inscriptions such as "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," with some examples commanding significant premiums depending on the strength of the doubling. Another notable error found in 1973 pennies is the off-center strike, which occurs when the coin blank is not properly aligned during the striking process. The severity of the off-center error determines its value, with coins that are dramatically off-center but still showing a portion of the date being especially desirable. Additionally, collectors seek out clipped planchets, which occur when the metal sheet from which the coin blanks are cut is misfed into the press, resulting in a missing portion of the coin. These errors add to the uniqueness of the 1973 penny and can make otherwise common coins far more valuable. For those searching for high-grade examples of the 1973 penny, mint state (MS) coins with a full red designation (RD) are the most desirable. Red pennies, which have retained their original copper luster without darkening to brown, tend to fetch higher prices than brown or red-brown specimens. Collectors and investors often seek out high-grade coins certified by professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC, with MS66 or MS67 examples being particularly valuable due to their relative scarcity. In terms of value, the majority of circulated 1973 pennies are worth only their face value, given the high mintage numbers. However, uncirculated examples in MS65 or higher can sell for several dollars, while MS67 specimens can reach significantly higher prices. The rarest and most valuable 1973 pennies are those with well-defined error varieties, particularly strong double die examples and dramatic off-center strikes. A well-preserved proof 1973 penny can also fetch a premium, especially in deep cameo (DCAM) condition, where the coin exhibits a sharp contrast between frosted design elements and a mirror-like background. For those interested in searching for valuable 1973 pennies, roll searching and cherry-picking from coin shops or estate collections can yield surprising finds. Many of these pennies remain in circulation today, and while finding a high-grade or error example in pocket change is rare, it is not impossible. Collectors who take the time to examine details such as doubling, striking anomalies, and color preservation can identify coins with increased numismatic value. The 1973 penny also serves as an important piece of the broader history of Lincoln cents. By the early 1970s, discussions were already underway regarding potential changes to the cents composition due to rising copper costs. Although the transition to a zinc core wouldn't occur until 1982, coins from this period represent the final years of the traditional bronze era. This historical context makes the 1973 penny more than just a common cent. It is a part of the evolution of U.S. coinage. For collectors assembling a complete set of Lincoln cents, the 1973 issue is a necessary addition, particularly in high grades or with interesting varieties. The combination of its historical significance, potential errors, and the availability of well-preserved examples makes it an appealing target for those seeking to build a comprehensive collection. Whether one is drawn to the classic bronze composition, the hunt for rare errors, or simply the history behind the coin, the 1973 penny remains a worthy subject of interest. While it may seem like just another penny at first glance, the 1973 USA 1-cent penny holds a deeper story within its small copper frame. From its enduring design and minting intricacies to the intriguing errors and varieties that make certain examples valuable, this coin is a reminder of how even the smallest denominations can carry historical weight. Whether tucked away in a collection or still circulating through daily transactions, the 1973 penny continues to play its part in the rich tapestry of American numismatics. Top 7. The 1975 USA 1-cent penny is a fascinating piece of American coinage, representing a time when the Lincoln cent was still made of its traditional bronze composition. As part of a series that had been in circulation since 1909, this coin carries historical significance and remains an important collectible for numismatists. The 1975 penny was struck at 3 different U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, with the latter producing proof versions for collectors. Those minted in Denver and San Francisco feature their respective mint marks, a small but crucial detail that distinguishes their origin. Despite its high mintage, this coin is still sought after in high grades, especially in red, RD, condition, and certain error varieties make it even more valuable. The obverse of the 1975 penny features the well-known portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. His right-facing profile, first introduced in 1909, has become one of the most recognizable images in American numismatics. The word "Liberty" appears to the left of Lincoln, while the date 1975 is to the right. Just below the date, the mint mark can be seen if the coin was struck at the Denver D or San Francisco S mint. Above Lincoln's head, the national motto, "In God We Trust," stands prominently, reaffirming the enduring values of the United States. This obverse design has remained largely unchanged since its debut, a testament to the lasting impact of Brenner's work. On the reverse of the 1975 penny, the Lincoln Memorial is depicted, a design introduced in 1959 to replace the original wheat ears motif. Designed by Frank Gasparo, this reverse pays tribute to Abraham Lincoln's legacy, featuring the neoclassical structure in remarkable detail. Careful observers will notice the small figure of Lincoln seated inside the memorial, a tiny but intricate element that adds depth to the design. Encircling the image, the inscriptions "United States of America" appear at the top, while 1 cent is placed at the bottom. The Latin phrase "e pluribus unum," meaning "out of many one," is inscribed just above the Lincoln Memorial, emphasizing the unity of the nation. The 1975 penny was struck using the long-standing bronze composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc and tin. This material had been the standard for Lincoln cents since 1962, following the removal of tin from the original 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc alloy used from 1909 to 1942. The 1975 penny represents one of the last few years of this traditional composition before the U.S. Mint made the switch to a copper-plated zinc composition in 1982 due to rising metal costs. As a result, these earlier bronze pennies have a significantly higher intrinsic metal value than modern cents. When freshly minted, the 1975 penny exhibited a bright reddish luster, though circulation and oxidation have caused many examples to develop a brownish tone over time. Three different mints produced the 1975 penny: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint produced pennies without a mint mark, while the Denver Mint struck coins with a small D below the date. The San Francisco Mint, designated by the S mint mark, primarily produced proof coins intended for collectors rather than for circulation. These proof versions are known for their sharper details and mirror-like fields, making them especially desirable among collectors. Despite the 1975 penny's large mintage, era coins and die varieties add significant interest and potential value to this issue. Among the most sought-after varieties are double die obverse, DDO, and double die reverses, DDR, where parts of the design appear slightly doubled due to misalignment during the minting process. These errors are often most visible in inscriptions such as "Liberty," "In God We Trust," or the date itself. Collectors actively seek these variations, and strong doubling can command substantial premiums. Off-center strikes are another intriguing error found among 1975 pennies. These occur when the coin blank is improperly positioned during striking, leading to part of the design being missing. The value of off-center errors depends on the degree of misalignment, with more dramatic examples being highly collectible, especially if the date remains visible. Clipped planchets, another common minting error, result when the metal sheet from which coin blanks are cut is misfed into the press, leading to a crescent-shaped missing section on the coin. For those interested in collecting high-grade 1975 pennies, coins in mint state, MS, condition with a full red, RD, designation are the most desirable. Red pennies, which have retained their original copper brilliance, are much scarcer than red-brown, RB, or brown, BN, examples, which have experienced oxidation over time. Collectors and investors often seek out high-grade specimens certified by professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC. In mint state 65, MS 65, and above, 1975 pennies can be worth several dollars, while MS 67 specimens are considerably rarer and command even higher prices. While circulated 1975 pennies are generally worth only their face value, those in uncirculated condition, particularly in high grades, can be significantly more valuable. A well-preserved MS 66 or MS 67 example, especially with a strong strike and full red coloration, can fetch impressive prices at auction. Additionally, proof 1975 S pennies with deep cameo, DCAM, contrast, where the frosted design elements sharply contrast against the mirror-like background, are particularly sought after by collectors. These proof coins were specially struck for collectors and are typically found in better condition than their circulation strike counterparts. Roll searching and cherry-picking from coin shops, estate sales, or online listings can sometimes yield surprising finds. While most 1975 pennies are common, careful examination can reveal error varieties, high-grade specimens, or proof coins that have been mistakenly released into circulation. For collectors assembling a complete Lincoln cent set, the 1975 penny is a necessary addition, whether in its standard strike, proof format, or as an error coin. The 1975 penny also represents a critical moment in Lincoln cent history, as discussions about potential composition changes were already underway due to rising copper prices. While the transition to a zinc core wouldn't take place until 1982, coins from this era serve as a reminder of the economic factors influencing U.S. coinage. As one of the final years of the classic bronze composition, the 1975 penny holds historical significance beyond its face value. Although it may seem like just another common penny at first glance, the 1975 USA 1-cent penny carries a deeper story within its copper frame. From its enduring design and minting intricacies to intriguing error varieties and the evolving landscape of U.S. coinage, this coin is a reminder that even the smallest denominations can have numismatic importance. Whether tucked away in a collection or still circulating through daily transactions, the 1975 penny continues to play its role in the rich tapestry of American numismatics. Top 8. The 1979 USA 1-cent penny is a remarkable piece of American coinage history, continuing the long legacy of the Lincoln cent series that began in 1909. While it may seem like just another common penny at first glance, this coin holds a fascinating story tied to the economic conditions of the late 1970s, minting variations, and collector interest. Minted at 3 different facilities, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, the 1979 penny comes in both circulation and proof versions, with the latter intended for collectors. Coins struck at the Denver and San Francisco mints bear their respective D and S mint marks, adding to the intrigue for those searching for varieties and high-grade specimens. The obverse of the 1979 penny features the enduring portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design by Victor David Brenner that has remained a staple of American coinage for over a century. Lincoln's right-facing profile is finely detailed, capturing his thoughtful expression and prominent features. Above his head, the phrase "In God We Trust" is boldly inscribed, reaffirming the nation's commitment to its founding principles. To the left of Lincoln's image, the word "Liberty" appears in capital letters, symbolizing the core value upon which the United States was built. Just to the right of Lincoln, the date 1979 is struck with precision, and below it, a small mint mark can be seen if the coin was produced in Denver or San Francisco. The reverse of the 1979 penny showcases the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 by Frank Gasparo to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This detailed depiction of the neoclassical structure provides a striking tribute to one of the most influential presidents in American history. If closely examined, one can even spot a tiny rendering of Lincoln seated within the memorial, a remarkable touch of artistry that adds to the design's depth. Encircling the reverse side, the words "United States of America" stand proudly at the top, while the denomination 1 cent is displayed at the bottom. Just above the Lincoln Memorial, the Latin motto "E pluribus unum" is inscribed, meaning "out of many, one," symbolizing the unity of the nation. By 1979, the Lincoln cent had already undergone numerous compositional changes since its inception in 1909. The original bronze alloy of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc had been adjusted multiple times due to economic pressures and wartime demands. From 1962 onward, the U.S. Mint simplified the composition to 95% copper and 5% zinc, a formula that would last until 1982, when the transition to copper-plated zinc cents began. The 1979 penny is one of the last few years before this major shift, making it historically significant. In its uncirculated form, a freshly minted 1979 penny exhibited a bright reddish luster, but over time, exposure to air and circulation led many of these coins to develop brownish or red-brown patinas. The 1979 penny was struck at 3 major U.S. mint locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint produced pennies without a mint mark, while the Denver Mint struck coins with a small D beneath the date. The San Francisco Mint issued proof coins, featuring the S mint mark and struck using specially polished dies to create a mirror-like finish. These proof coins were included in annual sets for collectors and were never intended for general circulation. A significant variety exists among 1979 S-proof pennies, as the Mint experimented with different mint mark styles, leading to what collectors refer to as the Type 1 and Type 2 varieties. Type 1 features a filled, somewhat indistinct S, while Type 2 has a clear, well-defined S, making it more desirable among collectors. One of the most exciting aspects of the 1979 penny for collectors is the presence of errors and varieties. Double die obverse, DDO, and double die reverse, DDR, varieties exist, where elements of the design appear slightly doubled due to a misalignment during the minting process. These errors are typically most visible in inscriptions such as "Liberty," "In God We Trust," or the date itself. The value of a double die penny depends on the severity of the doubling and the overall condition of the coin. Another intriguing error found among 1979 pennies is the off-center strike. This occurs when the blank planchet is improperly positioned during striking, leading to a portion of the design being cut off. The value of off-center strikes varies based on how much of the design is missing, with more dramatic misalignments being highly sought after, especially if the date remains visible. Clipped planchets, which result in a crescent-shaped missing section due to an error in the cutting process, are another collectible variety. For those aiming to add high-quality 1979 pennies to their collection, examples in mint state, MS, condition with full red, RD, coloration are the most valuable. Coins graded MS 65 or higher, certified by professional services such as PCGS or NGC, often command strong premiums. A full red 1979 penny in MS 67 condition is particularly rare and can fetch significant prices at auctions. The distinction between red, RD, red-brown, RB, and brown, BN, pennies is crucial, as red examples, which retain their original copper brilliance, are the most desirable. Proof versions of the 1979 S penny, particularly those designated as Deep Cameo, DCAM, where frosted design elements contrast against deeply reflective fields, are highly collectible. The Type 2S mint mark variety is especially rare, making it a key target for collectors assembling a complete proof set. Due to their pristine condition and limited mintage, these proof coins carry significantly higher values than their circulation strike counterparts. While circulated 1979 pennies are generally worth only their face value, uncirculated and error coins can be quite valuable. A standard 1979 D penny in average circulated condition may not be worth much beyond 1 cent, but in high mint state grades, it can sell for several dollars. Meanwhile, a well-preserved MS 67 specimen, particularly one with full red coloration, can fetch considerably more. The rare 1979 S-Type 2 proof penny is particularly valuable, with high-grade examples commanding impressive premiums in the numismatic market. For collectors, the thrill of searching for rare varieties and high-grade specimens makes the 1979 penny an exciting coin to study and acquire. Roll searching, attending coin shows, and browsing online auctions are excellent ways to discover hidden gems. Whether found in pocket change, old rolls, or proof sets, these pennies tell a story of a transitional period in U.S. coinage history. The economic pressures of the 1970s, including rising metal costs and inflation, would soon lead to the most significant compositional change in the Lincoln cents history, making pre-1982 copper cents increasingly valuable for their metal content alone. The 1979 penny, despite being common in circulation, holds a deeper significance when examined through the lens of history, design, and numismatic appeal. From its iconic Lincoln portrait to the finely detailed Lincoln memorial, from minting variations to collectible errors, this small coin carries a wealth of stories within its copper frame. Whether tucked away in a collection, preserved in a high-grade slab, or still circulating through daily transactions, the 1979 penny continues to be a symbol of America's rich numismatic heritage. Top 9. The 1980 USA 1-cent penny is a fascinating piece of American coinage history, continuing the legacy of the Lincoln cent that began in 1909. While it may seem like an ordinary coin at first glance, this penny has a story deeply rooted in the economic conditions of the late 20th century, the evolution of the Lincoln cent series, and the nuances of minting processes that make certain varieties highly sought after by collectors. Struck at 3 major U.S. mint facilities, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, this coin exists in multiple versions, each with its own unique appeal. Those minted in Denver and San Francisco bear the respective D and S mint marks, distinguishing them from the Philadelphia issues, which lack a mint mark. The obverse of the 1980 penny features the timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design originally crafted by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to honor the centennial of Lincoln's birth. This profile of the 16th president has remained a staple of American coinage, becoming one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. Above Lincoln's head, the national motto, "In God We Trust," is inscribed in bold capital letters. To the left of his image, the word "liberty" is prominently displayed, serving as a reminder of the nation's foundational values. The date, 1980, is positioned to the right of Lincoln, and just below it, the small mint mark can be seen if the coin was produced in Denver or San Francisco. The meticulous craftsmanship of the portrait captures the depth and character of Lincoln's features, reinforcing his enduring presence in American history. Turning to the reverse, the 1980 penny bears the Lincoln Memorial design, which replaced the original wheat ears reverse in 1959. This design, created by Frank Gasparo, commemorates the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth and showcases the neoclassical monument in exquisite detail. With careful examination, one can even see a tiny representation of Lincoln seated within the memorial, a remarkable artistic detail that adds depth to the design. The top of the coin bears the inscription, United States of America, encircling the central image, while the denomination, 1 cent, is displayed at the bottom. Just above the Lincoln Memorial, the Latin phrase e pluribus unum appears, meaning out of many, one, a motto reflecting the unity of the nation. By 1980, the Lincoln cent had undergone numerous compositional changes since its introduction. The original 1909 design was struck in 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, a formula that had been slightly modified over the decades. From 1962 onward, the composition was simplified to 95% copper and 5% zinc, eliminating the tin content. This copper-based alloy remained in use until 1982 when the U.S. Mint transitioned to a copper-plated zinc composition to reduce production costs amid rising metal prices. As a result, the 1980 penny is one of the last full copper cents before this significant change, making it historically relevant. In its original state, a freshly struck 1980 penny exhibited a bright reddish luster, but over time, circulation and exposure to the elements caused many to develop brown or red-brown patinas. The 1980 penny was minted at 3 major U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint produced pennies without a mint mark, while the Denver Mint struck coins with a small D beneath the date. The San Francisco Mint issued proof coins with the S mint mark, intended for collectors and struck with specially polished dies to create a mirror-like finish. These proof coins were included in annual sets and were never meant for general circulation. A notable variety exists among the 1980 S proof pennies due to slight differences in the appearance of the mint mark, with some variations commanding higher premiums among collectors. One of the most exciting aspects of the 1980 penny is the presence of errors and varieties, which makes certain specimens far more valuable than their common counterparts. A well-known error is the double die obverse, DDO, where elements such as Liberty, In God We Trust, or the date exhibit visible doubling due to a misalignment during the minting process. These double die errors are highly sought after by collectors, with their value determined by the clarity and extent of the doubling. Another intriguing error found in some 1980 pennies is the off-center strike. This occurs when the blank planchet is improperly positioned during striking, leading to a portion of the design being cut off. The degree of misalignment can vary, with more dramatic off-center strikes commanding higher prices, especially if the date remains fully visible. Clipped planchets, another error type, result in a crescent-shaped missing section due to an issue in the cutting process. These error coins add an extra layer of excitement for collectors searching for unique and valuable specimens. For collectors looking to add a high-quality 1980 penny to their collection, uncirculated examples with full red RD coloration are the most desirable. Coins graded MS65 or higher, certified by professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC, often command strong premiums. A full red 1980 penny in MS67 condition is particularly rare and can fetch significant prices at auctions. The distinction between red RD, red-brown RB, and brown BN pennies is crucial, as red specimens, which retain their original copper brilliance, are the most valuable. Proof versions of the 1980 S penny, particularly those designated as Deep Cameo DCAM, where frosted design elements contrast sharply against deeply reflective fields, are highly collectible. Due to their pristine condition and limited mintage, these proof coins carry significantly higher values than their circulation strike counterparts. Collectors who seek out variations in mint marks, cameo contrasts, or proof strikes can find the 1980 S penny to be a rewarding addition to their collection. While circulated 1980 pennies are generally worth only their face value, high-grade uncirculated and error coins can be quite valuable. A standard 1980 D penny in average circulated condition may not be worth much beyond a cent, but in mint state grades, it can sell for several dollars. Meanwhile, a well-preserved MS-67 specimen, particularly one with full red coloration, can command substantial premiums. The 1980 S-proof penny, especially in deep cameo condition, is also highly valued among collectors, often selling for much more than its face value. For numismatists and casual collectors alike, the thrill of searching for rare varieties and high-grade specimens makes the 1980 penny an exciting coin to study and acquire. Whether found in pocket change, old coin rolls, or proof sets, these pennies offer a window into the history of American coinage. The economic conditions of the late 20th century, including rising metal costs and inflation, played a crucial role in shaping the evolution of the Lincoln cent, making pre-1982 copper cents increasingly valuable for their metal content alone. The 1980 penny, despite its widespread circulation, holds a deeper significance when examined through the lens of history, design, and numismatic appeal. From its iconic Lincoln portrait to the finely detailed Lincoln Memorial, from minting variations to collectible errors, this small yet historically rich coin continues to be a fascinating piece of America's numismatic heritage. Whether preserved in a high-grade slab, included in a specialized collection, or still circulating through daily transactions, the 1980 penny remains a testament to the enduring legacy of the Lincoln cent. Top 10. The 1991 USA 1-cent penny is more than just a small copper-colored coin. It represents a chapter in the long history of the Lincoln cent, a series that has been in circulation for over a century. While millions of these coins were minted and spent in everyday transactions, certain factors make the 1991 penny an intriguing piece for collectors. Its composition, design, minting variations, and even rare errors contribute to its appeal among numismatists. This story of the 1991 penny goes beyond its face value, revealing the history, artistry, and hidden treasures that may be lurking in a simple penny jar. The Lincoln cent has been a cornerstone of American coinage since its introduction in 1909. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse of the coin features a right-facing portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, a design that has remained largely unchanged for over a century. This tribute to the 16th president was revolutionary at the time, as it was the first U.S. coin to depict a historical figure rather than an allegorical image. By 1991, this iconic design had already been in use for over 80 years, reinforcing its place in American numismatic history. On the obverse of the 1991 penny, Lincoln's portrait is accompanied by the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," above his head, "Liberty," to the left, and the date, 1991, to the right. If the coin was minted in Denver or San Francisco, it bears a small D or S mint mark beneath the date. Philadelphia minted pennies, as usual, do not have a mint mark. This simple yet elegant design has stood the test of time, remaining a familiar sight in American currency. The reverse of the 1991 penny features the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to replace the original wheat ears reverse. Created by Frank Gasparo, this depiction of the memorial is highly detailed, even including a tiny statue of Lincoln visible between the columns. The inscriptions "United States of America" appear above, with the motto "E pluribus unum" positioned just below. At the bottom, the denomination 1 cent is displayed prominently. The Lincoln Memorial design remained on the penny until 2008, making the 1991 edition part of a long tradition before the reverse design changed to the shield cent in 2010. By 1991, the composition of the Lincoln cent had undergone a significant change. Originally struck in 95% copper, rising metal costs led to a transition in 1982 to a copper-plated zinc composition. The 1991 penny consists of a core of 99.2% zinc with a thin copper coating, giving it the familiar reddish-brown appearance. This shift reduced production costs for the U.S. Mint, though it also introduced new issues such as susceptibility to corrosion if the copper layer is damaged. Despite this change, the visual appearance of the coin remained largely the same, ensuring that most people wouldn't immediately notice the difference between a pre-1982 copper cent and a later zinc-based penny. The 1991 penny was struck at 3 major U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint produced the largest number, with no mint mark. The Denver Mint struck pennies with the D Mint mark, and the San Francisco Mint issued proof pennies marked with an S. These proof coins were not intended for circulation but were specially struck for collectors, featuring polished dies that created sharp details and mirror-like surfaces. For collectors, the 1991 penny presents several interesting varieties and potential errors. One of the most sought-after varieties is the doubled die, where slight misalignment during the minting process results in doubling of letters or numbers. While no major double die varieties have been widely recognized for the 1991 penny, collectors always examine their coins closely for minor variations that may increase value. Another common error seen in 1991 pennies is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin blank is not properly aligned with the dies, leading to a portion of the design being missing or shifted. The value of such errors depends on the degree of misalignment, with more dramatic off-center strikes, especially those that still show a full date, being more valuable. Clipped planchet errors, where a portion of the coin is missing due to an irregular blank cutting process, are another possibility. These errors, while not unique to the 1991 penny, are always a point of interest for collectors who specialize in misstrikes and minting anomalies. While most 1991 pennies are worth only their face value in circulated condition, high-grade uncirculated and proof specimens can command a premium. A standard 1991 D or Philadelphia minted penny in mint state (MS) condition can be worth a few dollars if it is well preserved. However, pennies graded MS 67 or higher, especially those with full red coloration (RD), are much rarer and can sell for significantly higher amounts. The highest values are typically seen in proof coins, particularly those designated as Deep Cameo (DCAM), which have a strong contrast between the frosted design elements and reflective fields. A pristine 1991 S-proof penny in a top grade can fetch a noteworthy price among collectors. Though it may seem like an ordinary coin, the 1991 penny holds an important place in the ongoing history of U.S. currency. Its design pays tribute to one of America's most revered presidents, while its composition reflects the economic realities of its time. Whether found in pocket change, preserved in uncirculated rolls, or carefully stored as a proof specimen, the 1991 penny continues to intrigue collectors and historians alike. The thrill of searching for rare varieties, high-grade examples, and unique errors keeps numismatists engaged, proving that even a common penny can have a rich story to tell. Top 11. The 2006 USA 1-cent penny is more than just a small coin used in everyday transactions. It represents a continuation of one of the most iconic series in American numismatics. With its familiar design and long history, the 2006 Lincoln penny carries forward the legacy of over a century of production. Though millions of these coins were minted and commonly used, certain features and variations make the 2006 penny an interesting piece for collectors. Its composition, minting process, errors, and potential value add layers of intrigue, proving that even the most common coins can hold surprises for those who take a closer look. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation since 1909, when it replaced the Indian head cent design by Victor David Brenner. The obverse features a right-facing portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, making it the first U.S. coin to depict a historical figure. This design was introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, and over the years, it has become one of the most recognizable images in American coinage. The obverse of the 2006 penny retains this classic design, showing Lincoln's portrait along with the inscriptions "In God We Trust" above, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 2006 to the right. If the coin was minted in Denver, it bears a small D mint mark beneath the date. The Philadelphia Mint, which also produced 2006 pennies, does not use a mint mark. On the reverse, the 2006 penny features the Lincoln Memorial, a design that was introduced in 1959 to replace the original Wheatier's reverse. Created by Frank Gasparo, this detailed depiction of the memorial includes the tiny image of the statue of Lincoln between the columns. The inscriptions "United States of America" and "E Pluribus Unum" are positioned above, with the denomination 1 cent below. This reverse design remained in use until 2008, making the 2006 edition one of the last in the long-running Lincoln Memorial series before it was replaced by the Shield cent in 2010. By 2006, the composition of the penny had already transitioned to a copper-plated zinc core. a change that had been implemented in 1982 due to rising copper prices. This modern composition consists of 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper, giving the penny its familiar reddish-brown appearance. While this change reduced the cost of production, it also introduced new concerns, such as the tendency for the thin copper layer to wear away over time, exposing the zinc core underneath. This makes well-preserved 2006 pennies more desirable among collectors. The 2006 penny was struck at two major U.S. mint facilities, Philadelphia and Denver. The Philadelphia Mint produced pennies without a mint mark, while the Denver Mint struck coins with the D mint mark. Unlike previous years, no pennies were struck at the San Francisco Mint, as proof Lincoln cents had been moved to the West Point Mint for production. For collectors, the 2006 penny presents several interesting varieties and potential errors. While no widely recognized double-die varieties exist for this year, numismatists continue to examine pennies for minor variations, such as slight doubling on letters or numbers due to misalignment during the striking process. One of the most visually striking errors found on 2006 pennies is the off-center strike. This occurs when the blank planchet is not properly aligned with the dies, leading to a portion of the design being missing or shifted. The more off-center the strike, the higher the potential value, especially if the date remains fully visible. Another error that collectors search for is the clipped planchet, where a portion of the coin is missing due to an irregular blank cutting process. Though these errors are relatively rare, they add uniqueness to an otherwise common coin. While most 2006 pennies are worth only their face value in circulated condition, high-grade uncirculated examples can command a premium. A standard 2006 D or Philadelphia minted penny in mint state (MS) condition is worth slightly more if it is well preserved. However, pennies graded MS 67 or higher, especially those with full red coloration (RD), are significantly rarer and can sell for higher amounts. The highest values are typically seen in proof coins or exceptionally well-preserved specimens. While no proof pennies were struck in San Francisco in 2006, some special mint sets contain high-quality versions of the coin, which collectors often seek out. Despite being a modern coin, the 2006 penny remains a fascinating piece in the history of U.S. currency. Its design connects back to the early 20th century, while its composition reflects the economic changes that influenced the mint's decision-making. Whether found in pocket change, collected in uncirculated rolls, or examined under a magnifying glass for errors, the 2006 penny continues to attract attention from numismatists and casual collectors alike. The possibility of finding a rare variety or a well-preserved high-grade specimen adds excitement to the search, proving that even a simple penny can have a story worth telling.